Hi everyone, welcome to the Family Matters Show. I'm Benjamin Bryant and I'm an accredited family law specialist here at Bryant McKinnon Lawyers. Today I'm joined by my business partner Heather McKinnon, also accredited specialist. Question number 1. I have just been made aware by the high school my 14-year-old child currently attends that the children's father is attempting to enrol her at another high school without discussing it with me or having my consent. We had a mediation session regarding the children back in October last year, and we were due to have another 2. Nothing has changed since the court orders were made. The father has cancelled and rescheduled twice since then. Where do I stand with this, and what am I able to do?
So it's a really common question in relation to teenagers. So in this case, the parents have what we call joint parental responsibility, which is 99% of families, which means that parents can't change school without reaching some sort of agreement. Unfortunately, what tends to happen is children of this age become the third party in the dispute. So in this case, we might have a situation where the child has said to Dad, I want to move, and Dad doesn't know what to do about that, rather than ringing Mum and say, we've got a problem. I don't know why she wants to move, but how are we going to deal with it? So it really is a situation where you need to get back to mediation at the next session and drill down a bit about why is this occurring. What you don't want to do is assume that it's just Dad moving a child, because I'd bet anything the child's got something to do with this. So keep going to mediation. The enrolment can't be changed without your signature or a court order, so you're safe there. And the schools are really good then at keeping that structure in place. So if a parent turns up to enrol a child and the other parent's signature and consent's not there, they won't take the enrolment. So people need to understand that the schools themselves are very well trained in this area, and my experience is they will be very careful to make sure that all the paperwork's done and that both Mum and Dad consent to the move.
Yeah. And I think this is a great example, Heather, that obviously in every breakdown that there's reasons for separation, okay? But it's so fundamentally important that parents are able to continue to communicate with each other, okay, to address these issues, because as much as you want the other parent to be arm's length or even further than that sometimes, the fact is you do need to co-parent. So the first step, of course, is keeping up with the communication and just having that dialogue. And as you've pointed out, normally there would be some issue involving the child of this age, 14-year-old.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to get some further insight into what's happening with this 14-year-old girl. In circumstances like this one, for this mother, what are some practical tips if you found out that perhaps your ex-partner's been asking around at different high schools, or even filled in enrolment forms, whether you've got the information from school friends or you've gotten from the child themselves? What's some practical tips that people can do to try and narrow the issue or move the matter forward or stop the re-enrolment?
Yeah, so there's all sorts of reasons that children in year 8, year 9 move schools. So obviously parents who've already parented adolescents know that that's one of the most vulnerable age groups, year 8, year 9, where they're sorting out their peer group. So my advice in this case is directly communicate with the other parent, why is this happening? Then talk to the school that the child's currently in. It may be that there's some sort of communication difficulties arising between the child and the mother, and the child has said to the school counsellor and the dad, don't tell Mum. So it's really important that people, when they're making decisions about adolescents, get all the information, don't go off half-cocked, because the mental health unit is full of children aged between the ages of 14 and 17, and it is such a complex field, Ben. We have no idea often why children start to show really serious signs of problems, and this may be the tip of the iceberg. If mum finds out what dad's looking at the other schools for, it may inform her a lot more. But certainly the school would be the next best place to start, because normally they'll have some background information. So keep in contact with the year advisor. If the year advisor's not up to speed with your particular child, then contact the school counsellor.
And the next question that I get a lot, Heather, after that one is that if it went to court, or if we're at court, what does a judge consider, or what does the court consider when deciding on what school a child goes to? If one parent's saying school A and the other parent's saying school B, what does the judge take into account?
So, as we've said in shows before, all decisions are made on what's best for the child. So normally the judge will order that a court counsellor does a report on the competing proposals or on the child. What's the child's view of this? What do they want to do in terms of their schooling, and what's mum and dad's view? There was a very interesting decision handed down last week that happened in Melbourne, where the family had been very wealthy and a child of this age was at a very expensive private school. The parents could no longer afford it, and the competing proposals were between a state high school and a modest price Catholic high school. In that case, the judge heard evidence about why both parents thought their competing schools were best for that child. In that case, the judge ruled that that particular child's personality was best served by going to the state school. Usually what judges do is decide, if parents can't pick a school, that they'll give one parent the choice. So in assessing the child's needs, they'll decide which parent they think is best able to make decisions about education. So they don't pick the school, because there's a lot of public policy reasons around why we don't want parents going to school with all the NAPLAN results, going to court with, what each school's supposed to be performing like. That's not the role of a judge. The role of a judge is to look at which school fits this kid best. Not which school performs best.
And there could be other things that the court needs to consider, such as the siblings, where, not only the identity of the subject child or the child that's currently in dispute, but there might be identity issues also, concerning the other children. There's a whole variety of factors the court has to take into account.
That's right, and it's much easier when you're dealing with little ones, but when you get to adolescence, be very careful. Don't make quick decisions, and parents, please pull together, not apart. Because as soon as an adolescent who's in trouble picks up that the parents are in conflict, all hell can break loose.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do this show on the first Tuesday of every month. The next show will be on Tuesday, the 5th of March at 12 noon. And I think we're back answering more questions.
Before I go on holidays.
Answering some more questions of yours. If you do have any questions, please, of course, email it through to us at familymatters@bryantmckinnon.com.au, or shoot us a message on Facebook. All right, bye for now.